All right, so direction number 8. It says the top fourth of the head is usually covered by hair. So the top fourth is this part right here. So this central line was the center of your eyes. The bottom line here was the bottom of your nose. The top line right here is the top of your forehead where your hair starts to grow. So this is like your hairline right along here. A few things about the hair before we start. Okay, your hair is going to go outside of your original oval. Notice that the original oval is still here on the handout. So your hair is going to go outside of that. This line right here is your skin, the original oval. That's called your scalp. Okay, your hair goes above that, whether you've got a lot of hair above your scalp, which is your skin, or your hair is like cut really short, or your hair is pulled back really tight in a ponytail. Everyone has hair going above this line all the way around. If you have hair go down below this top third, this line right here, which is the top of your forehead right here. If you have hair go below that, then you have bangs. This is hair going down on your forehead. Okay, so you have bangs coming down. You don't want to have hair not come down to that too far up here. You can have a little bit of, extra line showing for a higher forehead, but you don't want to have your hair stopping like way up here and have way too high of a forehead. So you can have your hair not go to that line like a little bit, okay, or it can go down below the line as well. You're going to have hair go in front of your ears a little bit as well. All right, so you're going to have your hair come out in front of your ears. And then as I go through and do the hair, I'm going to go ahead and do some shading, and whatever the hair covers up, I can go back and erase, or I can just shade over and then go ahead and erase it later. But on the handout, I did not do any erasing. But a lot of these things where the hair is actually would be erased. I just left them there so you could see the original oval and the dashed lines that were still there. So those are a few things about the hair. Okay. Hairstyles, lots of different hairstyles. There's some hairstyles that are more male, some are more female, some can work either for male or female. Some types of hair, I'll kind of show you here on a piece of paper. Okay. So there's straight hair where you take your pencil and just kind of shade in, okay, sketch in where it's basically kind of a straight like this, pretty much just straight hair going like that. You can do wavy hair where you take your pencil and kind of move it back and forth like this, and you start getting like wavy hair. Okay, if you move your pencil like quite a bit back and forth, you get like curly hair. You can do curly hair as well. Okay, so there's like straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. You can even have something, for example, go from straight hair, okay, starting off straight and then actually get wavy. You can do something like this where it starts off straight and then gets wavy. You can combine these together, okay? But the main thing is to draw sketchy. You don't want to use the tip of your pencil pushing down really hard when you go to do the hair, all right? You're just going to dent the paper and you're going to leave lines that won't erase. Those are called ghost lines. So just try to draw light and sketchy like what I covered earlier when I talked about drawing light and sketchy with these other lines that are on this little sample piece of paper. So I'm going to give this person a part, like parted hair. And usually you cannot use tracing paper. No matter what hairstyle it is, usually you cannot use tracing paper because the two sides of the hair are just doing different things. So I'm going to give this person a part. So over here, I'm just going to kind of sketch in a line like where the hair would be kind of separated. Okay, so on the left side, what happens is the hair kind of goes up and over this way, one direction like that. All right, so I'm using the side of the pencil graphite like this. So the hair is going to kind of go up and over this way on the left. Over here on the right, okay, it's going to kind of come up and over this way on the right. So this is where the hair is parted. I mean, hair can be parted in different areas. All right, so I'm doing a hairstyle that's different from the handout. This hair would be kind of be going just down to the left, down to the right. Right here in the middle, be coming straight down. This person on the handout did not give them like parted hair. So over here on the right, it's kind of coming up and over to the right, like this, kind of starting off. All right, I'm going to have this person's hair actually go over some of their forehead, some of their cheek, and I'm going to have it kind of come down like over their ear, like this as well. So you can do a hairstyle similar to what I'm doing. You can go ahead and do a hairstyle similar to what's on the handout. If you want to use the mirror and draw your own hair, that's fine. The main thing is just to practice working on some hair. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on the hair here. Just take your time. Try to draw nice and sketchy when you draw. Not using the tip of your pencil. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of bring the hair down. I'm just doing straight hair. So this side kind of comes up and over to the left. Now you can see I've covered some things up. Okay, you can still see some of the original oval here that I had. The ear's still visible, but now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of erase that out. Okay, because the ear is going to be covered up by the hair, so I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that. Anything the hair goes over, you can just kind of shade over and then you can erase it or just shade over it, and don't worry so much about erasing it this time. Bring her down a little bit more. So kind of like that on the left side. Over here on the right, I'm going to bring the hair kind of up and over. Going to kind of go down over the forehead, and I'm going to have this person kind of have it like tucked behind their ear a little bit. So I'm going to kind of bring it down, kind of like that. And this part is kind of coming up and over this way. Again, their hair kind of tucked behind their ear a little bit, so I'm just going to kind of go like that. Yeah, just taking our time. If you want to draw it like an outline, like this, an outline drawing is called a contour drawing. If you just want to do it like an outline and then go back and do some shading, you can go ahead and do it that way. All right, so I'm bringing it like this. I'm going to have a little bit of hair here in front of the ear, little hairs like that. But overall, the hair is going to come out and it's going to be behind this person's ear, a little bit showing there. This little part right here, this little dip, this is called your crown. That's where usually your part goes to. It's that little kind of round spiral area where your hair starts to grow like out from your head. It's kind of near the top, kind of in the top back. All right. I'm gonna have a little piece of hair just kind of hanging down like that. Something a little different, it's kind of out by itself. Then the hair is behind the ear, so I'm gonna have it kind of come out from behind the ear like right here. Like that, have the hair hanging down. So this person has hair going over in front of one ear, but tucked in behind this other ear. Okay. So I'll show that part a little bit more. So this takes time, as you can see. All right, so showing some hair, something similar to that is what I've come up with. If you're doing the same thing, awesome. If you're doing it like the handout, awesome. Doing it like making up your own hairstyle, great. Drawing yours from your mirror, like practicing your own hairstyle, double awesome. All right, so I've got something similar to that. One ear showing, other part not. So just kind of making up a hairstyle with a part, so it kind of goes up and down to the left and up and down over here to the right. So that is an example of hair where I've got the top fourth covered up. I do have it above the dash line a little bit. So I've got a little bit above the forehead showing here and a little bit right here. But make sure you don't have too much showing above the dash line for the forehead. Okay, I've got some hair in front of the ear that shows like that. Not very much, but make sure you have some hair in front of the ear. Anything the hair goes over, you can erase. Or if it's very light, like I can still see a little bit of some ruler lines and things, but I'm not worrying about erasing everything. Just the ear was showing up pretty good, so I got rid of the ear. You can just leave or erase. So those are some things about drawing the hair. While you're finishing that up, you want to take your eraser, okay, and we want to kind of clean up the face. So you want to go in here very carefully and start erasing all these extra dashed lines that you have that we use to draw everything, work on our proportion, get things the right shape, right place, right size. Again, things are the right shape and the right place, that's the main thing. If they're not quite the right size, like the eyes are still too small or too big for your face, or the mouth or the nose, that's fine. We're mainly working on the proportion parts of getting things the right shape, okay, in the right place. So if it's not the right size, then that's okay, because we're just learning how this is done. So very carefully erasing things out. Okay, if you have something come off on accident that needs to be there, just carefully kind of re-sketch it, redraw it back in, especially when you're working in smaller areas like parts of the eyes where you might have some dash lines showing, some of the dashes. Okay, good idea to maybe shake off the crumbs a little bit. If you just kind of go like this with your hand, you're really going to smear it pretty bad. I mean, it's going to smear a little, but if you're just sitting here rubbing the crumbs off, you're going to really smear it a lot. But smears are just part of working with graphite pencil, so it doesn't hurt if you get some smears. All right, so I just kind of went in here and cleaned up the face a little bit after I did the hair. So do something like that. Just kind of clean up all the lines off the face. All right, and so those are the main things about drawing the hair. The top fourth, making sure you're going above your original line, going above the scalp. Anything that covers up, you can erase, okay? Or if it's very light and doesn't really show up anyway, that works as well. Okay, so just different hairstyles. And if you get the person's hairstyle that you're drawing, because eventually we're going to be drawing a person for real, if you get their hairstyle right, then that's really going to help it look like that person that you're drawing. All right, so awesome on the hair. And then after direction number 8, we do have some required details, and then we have some optional details. So we do have a couple more things to get to yet for learning how to draw a person, doing our practice portrait. Thanks for watching and following along.